Yes, I believed it is the appropriate moment to provide a concise and brief update on this particular day. Eves, my close friend who has consistently excelled at photography, also happens to have some free time available today, and I had the perception that it was a favorable opportunity to offer an update from my side. I created the final video without Eves while I was in the hospital, and a synthetic photography was generated. It seems that the medication is having an effect, suggesting that the tumors are beginning to encapsulate to some extent and show some signs of response. The challenge with this, however, is that the potential side effects of these two medications I am currently taking are very high and can have a significant impact on my well-being. They are manifested by me experiencing stomach aches, stomach cramps, and nausea each and every day without fail. I am very tired. It can easily happen that I sleep through for 36 hours sometimes, certainly always waking me up and ensuring I am fed by providing me with something to eat, without fail, without exception. I am only able to accomplish it with assistance naturally. Therefore, I consistently require an individual who provides me with a small amount of backing. Otherwise, being by oneself, being alone for a week is already a difficult challenge. I can no longer do that anymore. Yes, honestly, I am genuinely grateful that there are these medications that provide you with the opportunity to have more time and make the most of it. These medications are extremely well suited for an individual who requires ample time, who still has a multitude of tasks to complete and obligations to fulfill. During the dying process, numerous thoughts about unfinished tasks and responsibilities often arise in one's mind, or the ones that maybe weren't done well. In my particular circumstance, I just performed my homework tasks with great thoroughness and efficiency, and as a result, I have now been allocated a significant amount of time that I am not entirely sure how to make the best use of. One significant advantage is that when I made my progress public, a large number of people reached out to me, and I was inundated with an abundance of kind messages, which is typically a very pleasant experience to have. And I have frequently pondered, what am I truly accomplishing in this existence that I find myself in? What is my purpose for being here? And the multitude of feedback that I have received has unquestionably provided me with a clear sense of direction, illuminating the reasons why I am here in the first place. Or yes, I would say, here it was. That's the reason why I am here, and I am glad that I obviously did a lot of good and had a great influence on many people who were able to change their lives for the better as a result of my actions and the positive impact I had on them. It is a delightful experience to have the opportunity to encounter it in this particular way, which brings a sense of joy and satisfaction. As I have already suggested, I have a substantial amount of time available, and I am not feeling particularly well at the moment. And naturally, I have given a great deal of thought to euthanasia and the duration of time that this process will continue to drag on, causing it to linger for an extended period of time without any clear end in sight. From my personal perspective, I have the impression that my journey, my soul journey, has actually already come to a conclusion, reaching its final destination. And upon my return from Bonn, following my involvement in the theatre, or after this brief theatre episode, it would have actually been the time that belonged to me. How can I establish and determine that with certainty? Remaining in my current situation will not necessarily be made easier for me. I believe I mentioned in one of my interviews that it is not working out with the pension because I missed a payment for 1 month, and the insurance company is being very difficult to deal with. I am no longer able to work. In purely theoretical terms, the financial aspect no longer works out as it used to in the past. This is an aspect. Then it dawns on me that the strength I once possessed within me is slowly diminishing, and as a result, my soul is gradually growing more and more melancholic, filled with an overwhelming sense of sadness and sorrow. And that makes it extremely challenging for me to remain here. In addition, of course, there is my family who does not want to let me go, or others Just all of this love, for which I am extremely grateful, of course, is of limited use to me in the end, on the journey to dying. I appreciate it infinitely, but ultimately, it provides little assistance as I approach the final moments of my life. At this juncture, there have been no alterations, and I continue to hold the belief that life endures beyond death and persists in some form or another. And I feel a little bit like I could now... No, stay here. You are so important to us. I believe nobody would come up with the idea that if they have kids, they can allow the child to go to the 3rd grade and say, no, stay. I still love the 2nd grade. It still has time with the 3rd grade. I possess this idea. Obviously, this does not make the process of dying particularly easy when there is still such a strong attachment to others who are involved in one's life. And I partly feel guilty, as if I were doing something harmful to them. Yes, that is at times a substantial challenge to overcome,